The gold mining town of Menzies, about 700 kilometres from Perth in Western Australia, is in the middle of some of the richest gold-bearing country in the world. Over 100 years ago, the deserts of the West Australian goldfields swarmed with prospectors desperate to strike their claim. The times were very hard, and in the early days, water often became more precious than the gold itself. No wonder cycling took over from camels as the preferred means of transport, and began the strong culture of cycling in the goldfields. In June of 1928, on the King's birthday holiday, the Eastern Goldfield Cycle Club, looking for longer races, held the first Menzies to Kalgoorlie cycle race. This year, the 2001 Menzies event is the 74th anniversary of what has become the richest handicap race in Australia, with over $20,000 in prize money. Today, we're in Menzies with a field of 138 riders who'll be heading off shortly for the 132-kilometre trip to Kalgoorlie.
Okay, I think we've got most everyone, ladies and gentlemen.
The Menzies race is a handicap event, and the race handicapper has graded all the riders based on past performance. And if he's done his job properly, we should see all the groups come together in the last few kilometres of racing.
Rule number 1, you don't cross the centre line.
E-grade is off first with 57 minutes lead from the scratch bunch. And now D-grade at 40 minutes. C-grade at 22 minutes. B-grade is off now with only 6 minutes start on A-grade. The A-grade field includes current Australian champion Peter Milostic, who's just returned from several tours in South America, and you'd expect to see him feature at the finish. Hilton McMurdo from Western Australia also rates highly, and he'll get a lot of support from his well-drilled Glenn Parker Cycles teammates. Perfect weather conditions today and a strong tailwind will help the riders, so we should see some very fast times today. The local riders call this the hilly part of the race, but these hills won't even slow the professionals down, and I'm not sure they'll even notice them. They will notice the trucks, which they call road trains, and can get up to 70 metres long. And local rules prohibit a rider from sitting behind these huge trucks and getting a very advantageous draft. We're at about the halfway mark, and the limit riders have been out for about an hour and a half, and they've been doing very well with the assistance of a tailwind in the flat conditions. Their average speed is about 43 kilometres per hour, which is very quick for a D-grade bunch. We can see A and B groups have joined together. They'll shortly be going through the feed zone. And we've been told that their average speed is 55 kilometres per hour. So they're making good time and eating into the 57-minute lead given to E grade. If A grade can catch all the riders, they'll pick up $4,000 for first over the line and another $4,000 for fastest time. Plus, if they break the race record, they'll collect another $2,000. So there's plenty of incentive for these guys to continue to work hard. We can see some of the E-grade riders here who are starting to struggle a bit, and I think that now that they've been caught by the combined A and B bunch, will be happy just to finish the race and enjoy the rest of the day. They've got no chance of even staying with this group, who are still riding at over 50 kilometres per hour. And here's what they're chasing, the race leaders from D grade. Just 4 riders in this group who are working very hard and will be suffering right now. They're just trying to hang on because there's only 10 kilometres to go, and if they can work together, they'll have a chance of claiming line honours. But C grade is just behind them, and if they look around, they can probably see them coming, so I think their race is over. It looks like the handicapper has got it just about right, and we should be in for a good finish.
That was when the car guy got through the Kalgoorlie.
With 2 kilometres to go, you can see C grade now in the lead, and I don't think there's much chance of A grade winning now. They've left their run too late. They've dropped their pace a little about 20 kilometres out and sat up, and you wonder what they were thinking. But it's not uncommon for the riders to start thinking about the finish, and they go to the back to rest, and the pace starts to slow down. You cannot afford to do that in a handicap race, and that's why this race is so different. Despite being a relatively easy and flat course, because you've got 5 handicapped groups, there's always someone in front of or behind you, and you have to work as hard as you can for the whole 132 kilometres. A and B coming into view. They definitely can't win it from here, but they will get fastest time, which will give them $4,000. And with an average speed of about 51 kilometres per hour, they'll easily break the race record that was set by local Kalgoorlie and ex-European professional Paul Miller, who averaged 48 kilometres per hour in 1998. So certainly some talented riders to come out of Kalgoorlie. Here's the leaders with about 800 metres to go, and Teague Chislovsky is making his break coming from inside of the bunch. This is a good move because the one and only corner of the race is coming up, and it's important to get around this safely. This is not how you take a corner, but he's done remarkably well to stay upright at 40 kilometres per hour, and that's why the leaders wanted to get around first to avoid crashes just like this. But today, the Western Power Menzies to Kalgoorlie race will go to Teague Chislovsky. who wins from the C-grade bunch, just ahead of Warren Potmer and Ed Knowles and local rider Mike Harris. The winner finishing in 2 hours 53 minutes. And the A-grade sprint for fastest time being taken by a wheel by last year's winner Tyson Lawrence, outsprinting Hilton McMurdo for the fastest time. Lawrence has broken the race record, finishing the 132 kilometres in 2 hours 36 minutes 51 seconds. And that ends this year's Western Power Menzies to Kalgoorlie Classic. We hope to see you in Menzies next year for the 75th anniversary in the year of the Outback.